Okay, my fans, it's the NFL aficionado here, doing my week 5 recap of predictions. Man, what can I say, guys? We didn't have a good week this week. 6-8 in straight up picks, and only 5-9 against the spread. I did get 2 of my biggest upsets correct. Y'all remember I picked the Broncos to beat Philadelphia, and I picked the Jaguars to beat. I picked the Jaguars to beat the Chiefs at home, and boy, did I come through on those 2 victories there. So anyways, let's go over the week and see what we did, see how we didn't do, and then talk about the game. So, game number 1, the Thursday night game, the banged up 49ers went and played the Rams at their stadium, and they put a whooping to them. The game could have ended in a tie, but the Rams decided to try to go for the win and got stuffed on 4th down, which cost them. So that was just a choker. I think that the Rams, to me, they were moving up to elite status, but with the loss of the Eagles and now this choke job against the Niners at home, not feeling very confident in the Rams and being able to make a big splash in the playoffs. But it seems like they should, but I just don't know what happened to them last week. It seemed like a lot of home teams lost this week, especially big favorites. So moving on, the Vikings at the Browns. Of course, that game was overseas, 8:30 start time, and the Browns looked like they were going to pull out the victory in the upset. But in the closing minutes, the Vikings scored and took the lead, so the Vikings won that game. So missed on the Rams, missed on the Browns, upsetting the Vikings. The next game we had was the Colts had the Raiders come into town. The Colts looked like an absolute juggernaut in this game. They rolled 40-6 was the final score there. So really good job for the Colts. They're now at 4-1. Jonathan Taylor's looking like an absolute stud. In fact, for my money, I think he's right now the dark horse for the MVP race. I just can't give it to Daniel Jones because I think Jonathan Taylor's running is really driving that team and driving the wins that they're getting. So Colts sitting at 4-1, got that, and they cover the 6.5-point spread that the Raiders were getting. So moving on, I picked the Giants to upset to beat the Saints. Saints getting 1.5 points. As we all know, Spencer Rattler and the Saints at home delivered a victory for the first one of the season to move to 4-1. The Giants have now, after their big win against the Chargers, choked this game away. So this was really a kind of unexpected. But hey, good job to the Saints on that one. So missed out on that one. The next game we had the Cowboys going to play the New York Jets at New York, and the New York Jets just laid a complete egg, and the Dallas Cowboys offense put a whooping to the Jets. I think the final score was 37-22. There was a lot of garbage time touchdowns that the Jets got. Jets sitting at 0-5 on the season. Might be challenging for the number 1 pick, and hey, they might get a quarterback, so Justin Fields will be out of a job looking for another team again after this season. But yeah, Jets 0-5, Cowboys pulled away with the win, and the offense looked pretty impressive doing it, not going to lie to you. Next up, we had the Broncos again at the Eagles. Broncos were getting 3.5, but the Broncos took it to the Eagles. The first half looked like the game was going to get away from them, and then in the second half they buckled down and the Eagles choked it away. Eagles are really struggling offensively right now. Now I will say they do have some really good teams they've beaten on their record, unlike the other undefeated team that we're going to talk about a little bit later. They beat the Chiefs. They beat the Cowboys. Maybe the Cowboys aren't a great team, but the Chiefs have definitely, the Eagles have definitely have some wins in their back pockets on who they played, who they beat. Again, they beat the Chiefs. They came back against the Rams. They beat the Buccaneers. They're the only loss the Buccaneers have suffered this year, and then they finally gave away one to the Broncos. So Eagles looking good, but they did lose this week to the Broncos, and I called that upset. So those of you that bet on the Broncos, good job. I actually had a guy I work with who, man, is so proud. I got an Eagles fan and a Broncos fan. Let's just say we couldn't find the Eagles fan to save our life, and the Broncos man was loud and proud after knocking off one of the undefeated teams for the week. So moving on, I had the Dolphins. They were traveling to Carolina to play the Panthers. I had the Dolphins winning and covering the 1.5 points that they were getting in this game. And boy, Dolphins looked really good in the first half and then choked it away in the second half. And just, I don't know what to make of that team. I was really believing that the players believed in McDaniels, but then they lay an egg like this one, and makes you start to wonder if it's really time for some serious overhaul changes down there in Miami. So another L for me, a big-time L for me on that one. Next, I took the Ravens. They were getting 2.5 to go to Baltimore. I took the Texans getting 2.5, going to Baltimore. And Baltimore looks like a shell of itself. They're sitting now at 1-4 on the season. 1-4, yeah, they're 1-4 on the season. Absolutely got shell-shocked at home, 44-10. Texans just, I mean, they look like an offensive juggernaut after weeks of just struggling to move the ball. So there are big things going down in Baltimore right now. They can stay the course, say they want, but man, I don't see them as favorites playing the Rams next week at LA or at SoFi. So they could actually be 1-5 by the time they get to their bye week. That's who to thunk it, huh? Especially with the way they just moved. I mean, they just were whipping the Bills all over the field in week 1. So again, a lot of times it's not not good to take great stake in early in the season. Let's see how you're playing late in the season when the weather turns cold and we get the football season. So Texans whooped the Ravens. Moving on to the next. Had the Cardinals beating the Titans and having, covering the 7.5 points they were getting. And boy, that game swung on that 72-yard drop touchdown by that running back. Titans came back and won the game in dramatic fashion. Great job of Cam Ward getting his first NFL victory and saving Brian Callahan from some hard coaching decisions again on that one. So congratulations to the Titans getting their first win. And don't know what to make of the Cardinals right now either. They were just a mess. They're sitting at 2-3. Injuries are starting to stack up on them. The defense is supposedly legit. I really haven't looked into the statistics on them, but Kyler Murray, man, that dude is. I think Arizona really regrets paying him the money they did, and I wouldn't be surprised if they move off him in the offseason because he just isn't I haven't seen him be a legit starter ever since he came back from his torn ACL, and he kind of lost that quickness he had, and he just can't get the ball down the field. So, Titans upset the Cardinals in dramatic fashion. Next game we had was the Bucs going to play in Seattle. I thought that was going to be a tough road game for the Bucs, especially going all the way up to Seattle, playing. You know how hard it is to play there, and the injuries they were suffering on offense. And lo and behold, the Bake Show took over, and the Bake Show got it done. Sam Darnold did throw a bad interception in the fourth quarter to kind of help out, but the Bucs upset the Seahawks. Way to go, Bake Show. The Bucs are now sitting at 4-1 in the NFC. They're the notch below the Eagles, obviously, because they have that head-to-head loss to them. But so good job, Bucs. But I took another one on the chin for that loss there. So moving on, the Lions went and played the Bengals. The Lions are just rolling right now. In fact, to me, they're the best team in the league right now. They're playing the best. The defense is cooking. The offense is just a show right now. So we are a long way removed from week 1, and I'm really looking forward to the rematch when Green Bay plays plays the Lions at Detroit this time, not at the Packers' house, like it was in week 1. But Lions absolutely steamrolled the Bengals 37-24. There was some garbage time touchdowns, but at the end of the day, Lions, it wasn't even close. Score looks closer than it really was. So good job, Lions, but got that right. Lions won and covered the spread. Next, Commanders were going to play the Chargers at the Charger Stadium. The starting moments of the first quarter, man, it looked like the Chargers were absolutely going to roll, and then I don't know what happened. The Chargers started doing Charger things, and next thing you know, Commanders are on top, and not only were they on top, they actually put a little spanking to the Chargers. Final score of that game was 27-10. Welcome back, Jaden Daniels. Didn't have a great offensive game, but at the same time, your team won, and that's all that really matters in the NFL is, hey, what's the final score when the clock ticks 0? So Commanders upset the Chargers and cost me another L on both aspects. Then we move to the absolute, just, I don't know, man. Again, as you guys know, the NFL aficionado fiend here is a Bills Mafia member. Boom, look at that right there. But yeah, so major fan of the Bills Mafia, and we just laid an egg Sunday night against the Patriots. So Pats upset the Bills. I had a whole nother video on that. Don't want to get myself upset about that. So yeah, so there's another L on the chin for me. But I end the week strong on Monday night. My boys in Jacksonville, Mr. Trevor Lawrence takes down Mahomes. Amazing pick six. That 99-yard pick six by Devin Lloyd, taking it back. Really swung the game. And then that last play where Trevor falls down, gets back up, runs in the end zone, scores the game-winning touchdown. I mean, you know what I'm saying? That was a way to end my week. So got that victory there. Chiefs sitting at 2-3. I really thought the Chiefs, to be honest, last week after the way they rolled on Baltimore, they were starting. And I'll be honest, I was extremely tired from staying up late to see that whooping that the Bills got. And so I basically, when it went 14-7, when it was 7-0, and then Trevor Lawrence got that ball knocked out of his hands at the goal line. That was not a touchdown. And then the Chiefs went right down and scored, making it 14-0. I said, oh, here we go. There's another loss for me, big time. I did see the Chiefs score, so it was 14-7, but I went to bed. The old man needed to catch up on some rest from that late night he had before, and totally missed an excellent second half, just game. Disappointed I didn't see it, but it was nice when I flipped on the phone this morning to see that the Jaguars did upset the Chiefs at home. So the Jaguars are now sitting at 4-1 as well. So we now, I think, have 5 4-1 teams. We've got 6. The Bucks, the Eagles, the Colts, the Bills, the Jaguars, and I feel like and the Lions all sitting at 4-1. So the teams are starting to bunch up a little bit there. But again, Chiefs Kingdom took another L, which always happy about that as Bills Mafia. So we can continue to march towards that number 1 seed we're hoping to get. And should be 5-0. But anyway, so overall, like I said, I went 6-8 on my straight up picks. I went 5-9 against the spread. So man, really took it on the chin. But basically, a lot of upsets this week, with the 49ers knocking off the Rams, the Saints knocking off the Giants. Let's see who else. The Panthers knocking off the Dolphins. The Titans knocking off the Cardinals. The Bucks knocking off the Seahawks. The Commanders knocking off the Chargers. The Pats knocking off the Bills. I mean, that's 7 upsets there in 1 week. So unless you hit on all of them, man, I don't think anybody had a good week, especially with that Titans game and that Panthers game. And even the Niners game, man, 8.5 going to the Rams, as banged up as they were, and getting it done. So we'll add up our totals for the deal. I think overall for the year, I'm sitting at 46-26 on straight up picks, and I don't even, I want to say 25-34 on spread picks. So as you can tell, I'm usually better at picking them straight up than I am with the points. And remember, my point line gets picked on Thursday, so if there's any adjustments to that, I don't go on the final line. I go on what I picked on when I picked the game on Thursday and made the video. So let me know how you did this week, man. I'm sure most of you lost your tail. Again, 7 upsets this weekend. Amazing number of upsets in the NFL, but that's why you play any given Sunday. And hopefully we'll do better next week. So again, the prediction video will come out on Thursday. So let me know how you did, how you liked it. If you think, maybe some advice on the videos if you're seeing something. But otherwise, guys, we'll see. We'll do it again real soon. And again, hopefully you didn't lose the rent this week. Talk to you again soon. Bye.